That's that. I feel like I'm angry at everybody in my family. I don't like my family. If they weren't my family, it wouldn't be my friends. It makes me sad that I feel that way, but it's the truth.
I think Tony said that out of disappointment and anger.
What's the rot gut truth? I mean, the truth that you maybe haven't said. If you had 10 words to express it, and that's all you could say, what would you say to them?
Honey, 10 words or less. Baby, Tony said I can do it in 6. Hell you talking about? I do not like my family, okay? Listen, I know I popped up on y'all. Surprise! I know y'all are ready to jump on me for being gone for so long and not uploading enough, and I am so sorry, but I am here now, okay? Your girl is here. And we have some things to talk about. We have to talk about the Braxtons. They stay in the news for bad news. And now everybody is confused. And so I want us to dissect this latest allegation from ASHLEE BRAXTON, who is the niece of Tony Braxton. And y'all know how we do it. We can't know where we're going until we know where we have been. My name is E. If you have not already, please hit the like and subscribe button and turn on your notifications, babe. We have to get back into the algorithm.
If I could just whack you right up beside your head, I would do that. You chasing fame and you chasing ass. You want her to be a wife, but you don't want to be a husband. What about your sons?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
For that boy to sit in my face and tell me he hates him, that's on you.
My whole family, all of us women, it was a learned behavior.
Do you think Trina knows she was abusing you? I'm sure your mother might be shocked to hear how she taught you to be mean and bitter as a woman.
I'm educated in the streets, and it did not come from walking. Hello?
Okay, so I want to tell a story today, and that story is about how one of my aunts and my family do not talk to me because they think that I, at the age of 16, did something with her partner at the time.
Pause. Let's get a few things straight. Before we continue any further, ASHLEE Braxton is the eldest daughter of Michael Braxton Jr., who we all know as the younger brother of Tony Braxton and the older brother to Tracy, Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar. Now, they call him Mikey on the show. So some of you may remember, Mikey doesn't come around too much. He doesn't film too much. I would venture to say that there are other elements at play, and this situation may just be the tip of the iceberg. The entire family is strange, is what I'm saying. Anyway, the streets are alleging that the aunt ASHLEE Braxton is referring to in this video is Trina Braxton because somebody mentioned Gabe as the husband who violated ASHLEE in her comments on TikTok. And ASHLEE liked the comment, which seemingly suggested that the user was right. So if you look on the screen, you'll see Tia Kemp was one of the people who was in the comments trying to investigate just like the rest of us. Now, ordinarily, I will look at this type of video that ASHLEE has posted and I would give the person the side eye for not just coming out and telling the story up front. But I had to remember, Mikey just lost his younger daughter, Lauren, a few years ago, who was ASHLEE's little sister. ASHLEE now lives abroad in Barcelona. She's looking every bit of like her auntie Tawanda, and ASHLEE has been out here detailing her healing journey and advocating for others for several years now. So it's not like this is the first time she's spoken up. ASHLEE has said in other interviews that her birth mom left her and her younger sister when she was just 6 and Lauren was 3. She even said that Mikey married her stepmom and the woman abused her. And I'm not going to say allegedly because this came out of Ashley's own mouth. And I'll play a little clip of that previous interview that she did so that everyone can get caught up and we can have the same backstory as we proceed forward with the allegations that have recently come out.
My dad moved on and he found someone else and he married my stepmom. But, you know, it was not a good relationship. He was physically abusive to her.
Okay.
And then she was physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive to my sister and I. I would tell my dad, hey, I'm being abused.
Mm-hmm.
And not, you know, like I wet the bed and I had to lick it up. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I was slapped so hard down the stairs. Or maybe I was punched in my face. Or maybe she held my ear and decided to scream in it for the next 2 minutes. I mean, it kind of was up and down.
Right.
He would come home and at night it was so traumatic to listen to them physically beating each other in the next room. Then I don't know why my stepmom, she referred to my sister and I as the N-word.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were the N-word and we were also referred to as she, they, or them. That was like our names.
Yeah.
And so there was always something that she, they, or them did that perhaps she didn't care for.
Okay.
And then that's how it would transfer. And that was something that was really hard for me because I come from this family.
Mm.
My stepmom is great at just being the PTA mom. You know, she really was there for us in times of school. And same with my dad. My dad is a nurse. He's established, he's distinguished. So even trying to go to school to talk to the counselor about it, it was always like, are you lying?
Yeah.
There were some family members that tried their best.
Okay.
Grandma, for instance, and a few of my aunts to come in and step in. But, you know, I'm never angry or upset with them. They tried their best. It was the moment where my dad would come back and say like, hey guys, this is her house too. So they would come up to our house and they would confront my stepmom and be like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I didn't see that my dad was a part of the picture of the problem.
Yeah.
I just thought it was my stepmom.
Uh-huh. What happened? Did they kind of reach a point of saying, listen, we see what's going on there. We want to bring you out of that situation? Or, you know, was it a different kind of conversation? It was more kind of incidental. Oh, there's this opportunity. And you're like, yes, free me.
It's funny. I don't think they realized how bad it was.
Okay.
They didn't know. So for me, it was freedom. Oh, I get to be free. There was the opportunity, but I took it and I ran a mile. And I got into a lot of trouble in the sense of drugs, alcohol, partying. But it was hard going back home because I noticed a change in my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She turned to drugs. She really started to become a different person.
Have you spoken with her subsequently about what was going through her mind at that point in time?
No, it's interesting. She passed away 3 years ago.
Oh.
There's so many. I know. That was really devastating for me when she passed away because the person who had also gone through what I had gone through was gone. I left you in a sort of semi-difficult situation.
Mm.
And then also growing up, there was, you know, when you're touched inappropriately as a child and then it sort of manifests and then you start doing it. So then there was a lot of guilt there because I had sexually touched her.
Right.
And so for me, the reason why she passed away was because of drugs.
Y'all, this girl has been through a lot. That's enough to make anybody want to give up, okay? And I'm over here about to start throwing things because I'm so emotional. It sounds like this girl was really losing herself via these coping mechanisms that were unhealthy because she was being abused and she was passing the abuse forward. The girl has a real story. She's very articulate. I'm telling you now, her father, Mikey, he's not shit. Trina's not shit. Gabe is not shit. And Michael Sr., you failed your children and your grandchildren. Shame on you. Laid up with that lady from church and you left your children and your grandchildren uncovered. We the people have questions. I say what you say. Let's get back into the story.
So one of my aunts does not talk to me because I guess she felt like I did something with her partner at that time. And nothing happened, but I'm going to try to tell the story quickly and also not name any names. And so I was with this aunt for the summer with my sister, and I can't remember how much time had passed since we were there in the summer for a little bit of time to when we got home. And when I think it was my stepmother was going through my phone and she found this conversation, this sort of conversation. And she showed it to my dad, and my dad called that aunt and we spoke about it and we talked about it a little bit. And I remember just a lot of emotions. It was a lot going on. I was 16 at the time.
Girl, what? Girl, please.
So yeah, my aunt was there for me. She was very kind and very nice and was like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, blah, 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 blah. And not blah, 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 but she was very kind and it just felt like safe, you know? But then as the years have gone by, it's like that mood and that assumption that I didn't do anything because I was a child was not that assumption anymore. And it boggled my mind because it was like, wait, but if it happened or if it was true, then that would make him, you know, and like, you're okay with that? Like that's what you would like to hear?
Pause. I have to stop right there. There is so much to unpack now that we know more about Ashlee's life. Let's go back to the beginning because I took a few notes. The first thing Ashlee said when she started her TikTok was, nothing happened. That's what she said. Whenever somebody starts a story by saying nothing happened, that means something happened. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing here? So already I am uneasy with this. Next, she said, my aunt felt, quote unquote, like I did something with her husband at the time. Now, wait a minute. How can your aunt feel like you did something with the husband? This is slippery language, okay? Let's fast forward. The stepmother goes through your phone and discovered these text messages between you and your uncle, quote unquote, and she tells your father. Your father then calls your aunt on the phone, aka Trina, allegedly, and Ashlee says Trina is so apologetic, yada yada yodel, and then this is where Ashlee lost me. She said the assumption that I didn't do anything because I was a child was gone. And now my aunt won't talk to me anymore. And the undertone that the aunt felt Ashlee, this is just what I'm getting. This is not what she said. This is what I'm getting. Ashlee was conveying to me that the aunt felt that she was trying to seduce her husband. That's what I got from it. You leave it in the comments if you feel something different. If it didn't correlate the same way to you, let me know in the comments. But Ashlee, girl, you've said everything else. Clear this up right now. You were 16 then, but you're 32 now. Did something happen? Yes or no? Make it plain. I need everybody to be clear. I am not judging. I am not blaming Ashlee. I just need all of the information before I really lay into Gabe's grown ass. And because Ashlee is the one who is speaking about it, she's bringing the story to social media and she's telling us about it. I need plain language.
I really had to take the time and go back to that part of my life and understand how much feeling of like I didn't matter, that I was unworthy. It just felt like love from my family was just cut off and gone. And you're like, but wait, that guy? And it made it even worse because it was like, wait, this guy that was doing this to you on TV? And like, it's kind of in cohorts in the same spirit of what was happening. Not in the same cohorts in the same spirit, but like, you know?
Pause. I can believe every word. Something happened. Those words echo loud and clear to me. I feel what she is saying. She said, I did not matter. I was not worthy. My family did not love me. And all for this guy. Oh yeah, that sounds like Gabe. I understand precisely what Ashley is describing. How could my aunt cut me off? How could she cease communication with me? She's like a mother to me. We are blood. And you can easily turn away from me over this man who has been lying and cheating on you since the day you met him. And even more, he did it to you on the television. He played you in front of millions. He humiliated you. And you would choose him over me? You would abandon me like my own mother, my own father. And the nugget she dropped at the end was the same situation he got caught up in on the TV show was the same situation that happened with me, allegedly. This is why in the beginning of the video, I am assuming she kept emphasizing nothing really happened because her and Gabe were texting. That's the only thing that makes sense. And I have to fill in the blanks because, again, it's slippery language. But since Ashley brought up how Gabe was acting towards Trina on TV, let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we?
And Dr. Sherry, you know, I called you about something recent that happened in Gabe and I's relationship. To that, I feel like we went back a good 25 steps. That is why you're not wearing my ring.
You know, I was going to point that out.
And you ask me, why aren't you wearing your ring? Take it, pawn it. I don't want it.
No.
The symbolism is gone. When that ring was put on my finger, what it symbolized no longer applies. So I don't want it.
Gabe, do you understand what that's about?
In the middle of the night, she had a gut feeling that I was doing something that I shouldn't be doing.
Pause. Ladies, what is this thing about us where we have our gut feeling telling us that something is not right, but we still feel like before we take any kind of action, we need proof? I want us to stop that shit. We don't need any proof. That gut feeling talking to us, that's God. It's the God within us. And for me personally, I think of those intuitive spurts as a tapping on the shoulder from my grandmother, my great-grandmother, her mother, and her mother, and her mother, and her mother, and her mother. Those feelings and voices warning us to stop, pay attention, and to steer clear should trump all else. No further proof is needed. When you can't sleep at night, you're uneasy in the person's presence. You cannot keep food down. You cannot concentrate at work. That means get rid of his ass. That's what that means. You don't need any proof. That's your proof right there. That's your proof right there. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Now, I'm going to press play. And I need everybody to pay attention to what comes out of Gabe's mouth next. Pay attention to the body language, the shifting of the eyes, the stumbling over the words, and you tell me if you don't think this is when Trina found out Gabe was texting her niece, because I'm convinced something happened. It's beyond what these two are saying on the surface. And Trina Braxton, you have some explaining to do. This does not look good.
Well, was there anything on that phone that you didn't want her to see?
There were text messages between me and, well...
other women?
Yes. Friends. There were text messages between me and, well...
other women?
Yes. There were text messages between me and, well...
other women?
Yes. She has guy friends. She has all the guy friends in the band. So she can have guy friends, but I can't have any women friends. You know what? I was flirting, let's just say that. I took the bait, and I shouldn't have.
So you're talking about the things that you didn't do. Did you do what a married man should have done?
No.
Okay, let's pause. That's a lot to unpack. Right out the gate, I'm going to tell you, honey, Trina covered for this man. She covered for him with the other women comment, and possibly her niece, allegedly. But Trina actively participated in the shenanigans, and I am so disappointed. If this